Good morning and welcome to another SaTAROTday Day with Salon. We'll get the intro going and then we will jump right in. Alrighty, so right off the bat today I'm back to the Runic Tarot. This is the Jack Sephiroth, Alan Dempster, Jamie Elford Runic Tarot deck. It's one of my favorites. It has come up. I know I've used it quite a few times, and I think we kind of talked a couple of times about how, Steampunk by Barbara Moore is my number one tarot. I use it the most, especially in very intimate readings and intimate things that I need to know. It's a great deck for me. The imagery just speaks to me really well. And then there's the Wizard's Tarot, also Barbara Moore, another one that's really good as far as the imagery really speaking to me. There's tons of decks that I really enjoy. But those two were the most commonly used. And this Runic Tarot is quickly becoming one of the top uses for me. A couple of things and reasons why is because recently, and not so recently, but a little bit less in the past, the Norse pantheon has really been speaking to me, and thanks to a friend, Heather Dragon Dancer's recommendation for a book, I found some really good, comforting, and powerful information related to Norse paganism, and I really am enjoying that, and it's coming and pulling these things together. Now this will cycle in and change at times, I'm sure, but I've always had interest in the runes and things like that, and these cards really speak to that part of the process, that part of the paganry or paganism for me. So really great deck, really easy to read. But like I said, we're not going to talk too much this morning. I'm only stalling a bit to get some good shuffle in, some additional shuffle, that is. I don't want to make these longer, but I'm considering some other things to start doing in addition to, like calling. I always do a small meditation beforehand, and things like that, maybe including that in some of our videos, but we'll see. Today, we are asking for a general message. As many of you know, and I know Miss Joy has spoken on a couple of these things, where the vortex of energy, which is still around, has seriously made some headway into our lives and made some spinnies. We've had some things come and go, some adjustments, we've had some pruning, we've had some movement that we weren't necessarily expecting, and then had some more, and then had some more. And while we are, I think, heading into the area of calm, this is not the eye of the storm kind of thing. This is just a cycle, as will continue for life and death, actually. And we're cycling into an area of introspection and self discussion and movement and growth and change. And it's losing, and it's going to lose that edge. That's part of what the cards have been saying the last couple of days. So let's get our cards pulled here. We're going to do 3 from the break. We have the Page of Pentacles, the Nine of Horns, I think is what that is, maybe cups. Horns are cups in the Runic Tarot. The Ten of Shields, or Pentacles, Earth, from depending on what deck you're in, I should say. So what we're looking at is still some very interesting information. First of all, no major arcana cards, right? So as I've said just earlier, we're moving into a little bit more of a softer, quieter, less anxious, less energetic time as far as the the atoms are slowing down. Things are cooling off and kind of resorting a bit, which is really nice and really needed. Page of Pentacles is the court card that's in this 3-card spread. And so this is telling me that some of the energies that have come up to this point have been about changing and realigning Earth. They've been about coming into a new age or a new process with Earth. The Page of Pentacles is that the representative of the person. In this reading, it's us. It's each of us individually. This is the representation in us of re-experiencing the Earth in a new way. And after all of the weather conditions we've had all over, not just in Florida, but everywhere, and all of the energies and changes that have been coming around, we can trace a lot of those back to the Earth kind of resetting itself. And the page is the one that's just kind of like, I don't want to say wild, but excited and, ooh, let's do this and let's get it done. I want to change. I want all these things to happen. And, but it's also from a feeling or a specific controlled location in us, inside of us. So in this position, the Page of Pentacles is kind of telling us what energy has led up to us in our lives. That's led up to this day, to this reading. And it is Earth energy. It is the scholarly, pull together, but still, again, excited because this person hasn't experienced all of the newness that Earth has. So it's kind of like being excited for a storm, but really upset that it's caused damage to something, right? That's the page. That's the energy that the page is going to give. And what it tells us is to kind of be aware of what's led up to this point, all of this energy and craziness and things and newness and want for change has a little bit of pain that comes with it. And that's what the page will learn as the page progresses into knightdom. Our 9 of Cups or 9 of Horns is a very interesting placement. So this is our current energy. That's what's kind of going on with us right now. And so as we go into the next week, the 9 of Cups is going to give us a little bit of comfort and a little bit of happiness. And it's going to tell us, we're feeling pretty good. I'm seeing some positive movement. I'm seeing things are starting to come to fruition. And from an emotional standpoint, I'm pretty satisfied and happy with where we are. We're going to kind of maybe see some things happen where, and we've seen this in the current time frame if we go back just a month, and even with this current issue, is the generosity of people helping each other. And that is a little bit of the energy that comes from the 9 of Cups because it leads to that comfort or that wish granting period, right? Right before the 10 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Jesus, it's early. The 10 of Cups, which would be like your completion, your satisfaction, your contentment. We're not there yet, but we are happy and we are satisfied with what we're seeing. Excuse me. So the 9 of Cups and this potential, this read is in a very good place and a very good section. And again, if we read the first 2 cards together of the what energy has been happening in our lives and inside of us is that Earth and wanting to go through this experience differently but strongly, and then satisfaction has come out of it. And I can see that. There's been a lot of stress in the last couple of months. Even currently, I'm feeling under a ton of stress. But I'm not feeling the stress effects that I would normally feel or that we would normally feel. We're ready for this. We knew this was coming. We're positive and we are going to have to go to the next step. And you know what? It's going to work out. It's going to be fine. And the 9 of Cups says that. It says, okay, yeah, it's kind of crazy, kind of stressful, but how about we knock it down a notch and say, look, you're going to be fine. This is going to work. And then the other card that is very exciting to me is the 10 of shields, or in this shields, yes, in this case, but it's that would be our pentacles or coins, whatever it is that you do. And this represents a lot of prosperity. So these things like your family, your financial life, all the things that are stable and earthly around you, you're going to have prosperity with that. It may be a lot of prosperity. It may be mild prosperity, but things are going to continue and grow and be positive for you. For us, really. So what we're really talking about in the 10 of shields is this energy of the cycle ending, but also going to have to be in a area of restart, right? When one thing ends, another begins, and it may be different. But this time of prosperity is going to be pretty specific in something that you're worried or concerned about. It means that your wealth is going to remain intact. Now, you may go through the dip. Your Nine of Cups says probably not. And your Page of Pentacles says you're prepared and ready for it. So that doesn't seem likely. This is going to be a relatively smoother process than you think, and things are going to continue and go on in a positive manner. So this is a really, really nice read for me today. It's very, number one, I am an very earth and water-based person, and we have earth, water, earth here. So this tells me from a trending standpoint too, that the energies we have right now are being cradled by the earth, right? The water is being held. That means the river is not raging. The river is being directed back to where it needs to go, and the floodplains are not flooded. And I get that from think about the actual element of earth and water. How do those two interact? Well, earth holds the trees and the lakes, right, like a bowl, and that water transpires up into the atmosphere and down through the earth. It comes back out from the air as rain. It can be torrential, it can be damaging, but it is also 100% life-sustaining. We all need water, as do our plants. So there's this back and forth between water and earth that is extremely important to sustain life as we know it. So when I have a read and I pictured we have earth on the outside and water on the inside, that lets me know that the universe is giving me a cradling aspect of our emotions. That means we are going to be held well, we are going to be held comfortably, and we are going to be held and helped to carve out the right pathway to get back to the ocean, because the water is going to seek back. So this is, again, a very positive read. It feels very comforting to me with all the things that I have going on, but I would like to hear how it feels for you. What are your thoughts on the read, and what would you have maybe read differently or the same? And so great news, great process, and ultimately our keywords here are: we have gone through it, we're still going through it, but we're ready, we're excited, we're comforted, we're held, and we're going to have prosperity and wealth in the end of all the current energies that are going on right now. So again, if you like this video, please feel free to like it, subscribe, most importantly, comment. I want to hear what your thoughts are. That's my favorite part. So thank you very much for your time. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday and weekend today, and we'll see you next week.